friends, it's Carol, Rosebud Stitcher, back for Flosstube number 8. I hope you're all doing well, that you had a Merry Christmas or Happy Holidays if you don't celebrate Christmas, and that you're all doing well and staying safe, and that you just had a good time and you're looking forward to 2021 later this week. I know I am. I thought on this episode I'd show you what I've been stitching, my plans for 2021, and a little bit of haul and a little bit of stitchy kindness. So sit back and enjoy. So since we met 2 weeks ago, I've gotten a few finishes done. No FFOs, but hopefully next time some of those will be finished into FFOs. The first thing that I finished was my 5th shepherd's foot stocking. This is for my youngest granddaughter. So this is number 5, if you recall. I have one more to do for my grandkids. I have another little boy one to do, and those are it's in my plans for 2021 to stitch that and hopefully have a finish and get all 6 of them finished and hanging up for next Christmas. I have to tell you, those of you who saw my pillowcases, they were a hit. This little granddaughter, when she pulled it out, she was sitting on my daughter's lap, her mom, and she immediately put it on their laps and said night-night and put her head down, but then finished up her present. So the pillowcases were definitely hits, and I've gotten pictures of a few of them sleeping on them since then. So my next finished was Purr Berries by Erica Michaels. This is a set of 3. They'll be finished into 2 little pillows and 1 little strawberry. I had this part of it finished prior. Live, Love, Purr. This one will be done into a berry, and I personalized it with my little kitty's name, Candy, and it worked out perfect that there was a nice orange ginger kitty, because that's what she is. And then the third one is, oops, my little charm is backwards here. This one will be a pillow too. When a man loves cats, I am friend. And then I just finished it with a button and some little kitty charms. So those, I have plans on doing some FFOing next week after the holidays. And so hopefully the next time we get together in 2 weeks, I have some FFOs and those are included. My third finish was something that I had pulled back into my WIP rotation. This is a Bent Creek Good News Globe. And this was a kit. So it was done with pearl cottons on a larger linen. And I failed to tell you, this was done, these all 3 were done on 37 count corn with the called for colors and fibers, and the stocking was done on the big 18 count with the called for pearl cottons for the Elizabeth stocking. So on Christmas Day, I decided I was going to treat myself to a new start. And I thought it would be very fitting. My friend Beth from the 2/2 Stitchers had me for an exchange in our local Facebook group that we have. So if any of you are in Northwest Indiana and would like to check us out, it's the Northwest Indiana Needle Nerds. We do some challenges, and we had a big nice ornament exchange, but she kind of spoiled me, and she got for me fully kitted the Piece Band sampler for Heartstring Samplery. Sorry, the lighting's a little bad this week today. It's kind of dreary out. So I started this on Christmas Day, and this is my progress so far. I'm doing this on a 40 count flax, and the color she got for me was Classic Colorworks Ribbon Red. So I will be continuing stitching on this until New Year's, in which I plan to have a New Day start. So I thought I'd get into a little bit of what I have planned and how I set up my rotation. And I thought I'd share with you. I was working on getting these things calculated the other day. This is the first year that I have counted my stitches. So every evening when I finish stitching, I highlight what I did for the day and count them, and I keep track of them. So as of last night, for the year 2020, I had in 118,242 stitches. So if you recall, in June I retired, so my stitching time has increased. So hopefully even next year I'll have even more. And I also, a little thing I kept track of was I started the year with 20 WIPs. Now 4 of these were not active until last December. 3 of them I showed you last week, and I'll show you the other one I activated this past week. It's in my rotation now. And so all of my cross stitch items are in my WIP rotation. So I started the year with 20. I did 20 new starts. I had 22 finishes. Now remember, let's see, 11 of those finishes were Christmas ornaments, but a finish is a finish. And I'm going to end the year with 18 WIPs because I don't think I will get that piece band sampler done, but I'm going to end it with 18 WIPs. So I thought I would share with you a little bit how I am doing my planning. I don't know if I shared, I came out of the accounting trade, so I'm used to having kind of a regiment, and I think that was the hardest thing about retirement is get up each day and it's like, what am I going to do? And so I knew I needed to kind of have goals, projects, so I do have a planner, and it's kind of a repurposed happy planner. And if you recall, I won the 24 hours cross stitch download that time. So yesterday I was setting up my plans for January, and how I set up my rotation is usually from a Sunday to a Saturday is how I usually work my rotations. That just worked out when I was working because I had a good block of time on a Sunday, a good block of time on a Saturday, and there were some evenings when I didn't get to stitch, so I didn't want to break it up. I'm not saying that I'm going to stay with a week-long rotation all year, but that's the way I'm going to start my new year out. So in 2019, what I started doing is the first Sunday of every month, I would start a new project. And then in 2020, if I had finished that previous year's new Sunday start, I would start a new one. If not, I would continue on with that. So that's how I'm going to set up. I've added some new twists this year. So my first Sunday I will work, I haven't finished last year's first January Sunday stitched, so I'll work on that. Last year, during the second week, I was primarily concentrating on the 2020 Linen and Threads Mystery Sampler, so I did finish that. So this year, the second Sunday week, I will be having a focus piece, a piece I want to finish, and I'll show you that in a little bit when I go through things. It's just going to be a piece I want to finish, and then probably after I finish that one, I'll probably put that sixth stocking into that place and try and get that finished. My third Sunday, I go back to, I have a section in here of all my WIPs. So that's the 24 hours cross stitch. So each project in my WIP, I have this sheet, and as I start a new WIP, I put it at the back. So as you can see, Sorry about that. As you can see, my last WIP in here is my piece band sampler. So I usually put down what fabric, the designer, the fabric, the count, how many stitches, and the start date, and then the finish date. And then I keep track of all the stitches and the minutes stitched. These were done by one of our Northwest Indiana group members, Beth, and she is also one part of the 2/2 Stitchers. So I keep those in chronological order, and then that third week, I just pull the next one. This year, what I'm going to do is on the fourth Sunday, add a new start. But this new start is going to be a smaller item that I could probably finish in a week, maybe a week and a couple days. So that's what I would pick up the next month if I haven't finished. So if you recall, I did the Welcome Winter by Drawn Threads. So I'm going to continue with that series during that week. And if I have a fifth Sunday, I just pull the next in my WIP rotation. So that's kind of how I have it set up. And I'm also going to include new starts on holidays this year. So I've always done a New Year's start and a birthday start. Last year I did the New Year's start, Easter, because we were in a COVID lockdown and I was home. I had finished a piece and I just felt like starting a new one. And I did my birthday start. So in my rotation, when that holiday comes up, if I'm not finished with the one from the previous year, I still start a new one. So I'll have a New Year's Day start. I'm going to have an Easter start. I'm going to have my birthday start. I'm going to have a Thanksgiving start and a Christmas start also in next year. So what do I plan on starting? First, before I do that, I'm going to show you this last WIP I have, and it's a big one that I've added back into my rotation this year. And it is called The Cat by X Squared. Now, I saw this, and if you saw this, my little thumbnail just reminded me of my kitty. So when I saw it, I grabbed it up. It is a full coverage, and I've only gotten, and it's going to be hard because they're really light stitches, but I've gotten 2 pages done, and I'm doing this on linen. So, but there's lots and lots of colors in there. So this is added back to my rotation this year. So, what am I going to stitch? What am I going to pull from this year? So, my New Year's Day start is going to be the Mary Bears Sampler by Stacey Nash. She's a big girl. I've shared this before. This is probably one of the first reproduction samplers I ever purchased. And never started it. But I have it fully kitted up. I'm going to use a 36 count extrude to design little bunny. It's kind of got a pinkish overcast, pinkish brown, and these are the colors, all the fibers that are going on that. So I'm really looking forward to Friday and being able to get that started. So in January, for the next 2 weeks after that, and I do plan on being back in 2 weeks. The first Sunday, last year on the first Sunday, I started Harriet Salt. So I love this design. I haven't seen it before. This is the full piece. So I'm doing that on a 37 count with a red silk. And my focus piece for this year, or for the coming few months, I really hope, my goal is to have this done by July, if not sooner. is my Hawk Run Farm. So let me take this little magnet off here. So I am doing this on 40 count with the NPI silks. So I'm in this block here, and then I have 4 more to go. And as I've shared before, I am personalizing this as a memorial piece for my dad, and it will be my focus piece. So every month, the second week, I'll be pulling it out and working on that until I get it completed. And like I said, my goal is to have it done by June or July and get it framed and on my wall. So that's the 3 items that I am planning on working on till we meet again. So, but what I thought I would share also with you today, the things I have kitted up or almost kitted up, ready to go for to pull from for my starts for this year. I have been stitching probably 40 years since I was in high school, so I have a lot of stash. I have some items that are already fully kitted. I have a lot of items that I just have the pattern for. Maybe I have the fabric for. So I really went through and pulled out a lot of things that I want to work on this year. So without further ado, this is my basket of things I'm going to pull from this year. So I do know, let's see here. My first start, if I know I get a February, I get a March, and I get an Easter start after this 2 weeks. So I know in February I am starting the infamous Winter Rose Manor. Just love this piece. I have it kitted up. I did purchase the kit from Country Sampler in Wisconsin. So I have all. The only thing they were missing was a mulberry, and luckily I had it in my stash. So that will be my February start, I know of. My March start is going to be my 6th stocking for my grandkids. And I will be working on Robert's stocking, Shepherd's Bush. And I have it on the call for 18 count linen. So after that, I know for sure I will be getting an Easter start. And what I'm going to start on Easter is something that came out last year, and I got it around Easter time, just not quite soon enough to do an Easter start. I'm going to be doing the Elizabeth Cooper by Sassy Jacks. I call it the Jesus Wept sampler, but this is, I know, going to be my Easter start. I had it kitted up by Sassy Jacks, and I'm going to be working on a 37 count corn tassel, and I had the called for needlepoint silks. So that's lovely. And I thought it was appropriate. I put it in my So Much to Love bag. That this was like a special edition, kind of, and the proceeds went to the Franklin Graham, the hospital that they put up in Central Park for the COVID. So I know that's going to be my Easter start. So some of the other items, and I kind of categorize these into large and small because I'm going to do those small things. But some of the bigger items that I want to work on next year are these. And 2 of them I don't have kitted up yet. But I'm really thinking this is my goal for January is to kit this up, is Olga's Autumn Stocking. And I'm thinking this may be my birthday start. The other thing I don't have kitted up yet is the American Eagle from Blackbird. So those are two that I would like to start. Another one is Descending, excuse me, Descending Sun by Samplers Not Forgotten. And I have that one all fully kitted. This was a part of the Sampler Girl Club. And the last of the big ones, this is an oldie. It's Home is Where You Hang Your Needlework by Homespun Elegance. I said this is an oldie that I pulled. And I have it kitted up with 30 Count Creek Bed by R&R. And this is a called for. And the two Belle Soirs. It only has these two colors. It's the only thing in that. So I said I'm going to be doing this great big one. Home is where you hang your needlework. So those are the biggies that I would like to get started. As far as the small ones, the first couple months I'm going to be doing the Drawn Thread Welcome series. So I plan on starting Welcome Spring in January. I already have Welcome Winter completed. And then I'll be pulling Welcome Autumn and Welcome Summer. And I have these fully kitted. I bought them on the Drawn Thread website. So they come fully kitted with the called for silks and stuff. So that's what I will be using. And then the rest of these smalls. I know I won't get all of this started or stitched on, but this is what I'm going to pull from. One of them is Basket Full of Summertime. And then, of course, my annual Christmas ornaments. I have another small thing that I'll pull from that is in my haul that I got, and that'll be my older children's ornament, excuse me. This is going to be my grandkids' ornaments. So I'll be stitching 6 of these. So another small I have kitted up. Like I said, some of these are oldies, some of these are the ones I just purchased. There's actually 2. This was some of the purchases from last time. Silent Night and Winter Joy by Stitches with a Housewife. And I got that all kitted up. Another small option I have is a Blackbird Wild and Sweet needlebook. And this is from the Bells on Christmas Day. So, let's see what I have kitted up in here. This is another oldie. This is a with thy needle. It's called Candy Corn. Sweet Little Witch. And I'm doing it on the called for gold. And this is a 30 count with all the called for colors. So that's an oldie but goodie. Next thing to pull from is the Mary Jarful. If you recall, this was an ornament I did for my daughter and daughter-in-law. I have all of the jar series, and I'd like to stitch those up, all of them up for my daughter, but I'm going to start with Mary. Another thing I have stitched up, and I hope to do one day for a gift, is our story. Home is where our story began. Another with thy needle, excuse me, with the called for fabric of 36 count vintage country mocha. I think I'm using all the called for colors except the Valdani, and I substituted the Weeks Dye Works Cinnamon Twist. So those are all the pretty colors. And the final item I have kitted up as an old, and I'm gonna apologize right now. This is definitely an oldie, and I know you can no longer get it. This designer passed away, but I got this many years ago. This is the Yule Sampler, the primitive needle, and I have it all kitted up on the heritage and the called for colors. So this is just a real simple design of an alphabet, so I'm thinking it could definitely be done in like a week, maybe a week and a few days. So those are the items that I have kitted up to pull from. That another goal I have this year is to kind of catalog my stash. So now what are we going to get into? I had a little bit of, Stitchy kindness. First is, got this color in cotton called Dusty Red, and my friend Belinda gave that to me. It's a little bit softer pink than what's showing up there, so I don't know if I can get that out, but it's more of a dustier pink than this fuchsia that's kind of showing up. And then I received from Gentle Arts Pebble, and I got this from the other half of the 2/2 Stitchers, Susan. And then I got the lovely watercolor card from So Grateful, Darlene. And if you don't watch her, you should. She's got a wonderful spirit, and she did this watercolor, and then she added the verse and had them made into postcards, and I was one of the lucky recipients of it. So she's a sweet person. So stash haul. So the other day when I dropped my Coming to America off, I did a little shopping at my local L&S, House of Stitches in LaPorte, and I came upon this. And this is all I saw of it, Spirit of Christmas. And I thought, oh, that'll work out for my adult kids' ornaments. So, because I plan to continue making the guys one and the girls one. And I thought, well, that's 2 years worth of stockings. Because they both households kind of do a farm rustic kind of decorating. So I thought, oh, great, that's 2 years. That's worth it. Well, I was I stopped to get lunch for my husband and I, and I just pulled this out of the bag, and I opened it up. No, there's more than those 4 designs. Trying to get the little glare off of it, guys, sorry. But there's 8. So, if I pick 2 each year, in 4 years, each family will have all 8 of those. So I thought, that was a great find. Like I said, I think they're all really nice. The color palette's the same. So got the adult Christmas ornaments done for several years. And then I picked up Winds of Autumn by Blackbird. This is just beautiful. And like Laura and Brenda said, Wild Blackbird. So, and I just love this sampler. Let me see if I can get a bigger picture of it. The Mighty Oak. So that's one I'll probably be doing for sure. And this guy, that big berry. So pick that up to add to my stash. I received my sampler from Country Sampler. I'm part of the Schoolgirl Sampler Club. And so this month we got Mary Griffin 1824. And if you've never bought from them, they always come so beautifully packaged. So this is a call for 36 count linen and the Weeks dye works. So aren't they beautiful? And then I made a purchase from probably one of my favorite Etsy shops, Bobby from Pumpkin Creek Primitives. And she always sends this nice little goodie bag. Got some gummy bears. Those aren't getting shared. Usually the candy I get to share with my grandkids, but I like gummy bears. And then these two buttons. We've got the, looks like the Golden Gate Bridge and a British flag. And I'll be turning those into needle minders. And what got me looking at the shop was she had some new needle binders that I just couldn't resist. Pink kitty. And then she's got this gray kitty with blue yarn ball. So I just thought they were so cute. I couldn't resist. So nice big minders. So, and then of course we had to get some more patterns. The Cats Love Christmas one, Cat Eviction. Lindy Stitches. And from Teresa Kogut, the All the Things. I just love that. I think that's Christmas in one. So. And then I got the hands-on design, the winter. Let's Talk Winter. So we've got Let's Talk Fall, Let's Talk Winter. So I've got both of those. So that was my haul. I did get two like mystery boxes. I got the one from Cricklewood Crossing, and that arrived right during our Christmas celebrations on Christmas Day. And I also got the Primitive Gatherings, yes, wool box, holiday box, and that I got on Saturday afternoon. But I'm not going to show them. The Cricklewood Crossing one, the Samber's Stitches does a unboxing if you'd like to see it. And Primitive Gatherings, I know not everyone has received their box yet, so I'm really not going to show it. I do have pictures of it. If you'd like to see it, you can instant message or send me a message or an email, and I'll be glad to show pictures privately. But I just feel like people ought to have the thrill of opening their own box. So I'm not going to show those, but if you have an opportunity, I would highly recommend getting a box one, at least trying a box out from a place. It's kind of fun and buy your own presents. So I think that's all I have for you. Excuse me. I want to wish you a happiest of New Year and many blessings for you and your families. And as always, may you be blessed with stitches. See you next time. Bye-bye.